1-0 scoreline. What does Mikel Arteta do differently next week in Paris?
I think he can't go away from the game plan, what they've had for the majority of the season, how they play, and I think if he tries to change too much, then players might be used to that. So I think they have to just go there and be patient to keep themselves in the game at 1-0, and then towards the end they can gamble and try and get the goal if they haven't already got the goal. So I think the game plan shouldn't change in terms of what they've done all season, slightly different to what it was today in the first half, I feel, but they have to just stay patient and have that belief that they can get to another game.
I feel they need to get people like Bukayo Saka a bit more involved in the game, but isolating his fullback. At times he was not doubled up but tripled up. PSG, because they had the ball so much, their energy levels were just consistently high, so they had the numbers to get back to help in those situations. So I think they need to try and encourage that a little bit more, trying to get Martin Odegaard and there's connections particularly on that side. But look, they created chances, just like Mikel's saying there. They're still in this game. They know that they can be a threat in some moments, but it's a completely different mindset going into this because they have to win. So they're going to have to take those risks in certain moments of the game, but also as well be compact.
You said it well, but that's Champions League, right? Every match you have to win, even in the two-leg, knockout. You have to win all the matches. The mindset is that. So I think that now they will be free. I believe that the pressure is off now. You know, playing home can come with a lot of pressure, especially for a team that has not been there yet. So yeah, they have nothing to lose. They have the team to do it. They went to Real Madrid. Both teams went to actually I would say the most experienced clubs, right? Liverpool and Real Madrid. The difference that I've seen in PSG, they took the positive out of that and got better. And Arsenal, I think, slowed down a little bit mentally. Maybe that was the final for them. Oh, it was so important and difficult to win against the big Madrid. So maybe this was just a reflection, and the next match will be the Arsenal that we've seen in the previous matches.
Yeah, anything to advance on that?
No, I mean, I think it's going to be a tough game, you know, psychologically for the players, like Clarence is saying. They've got to be free in the mind, not worry about anything. It's going to be the biggest game in their careers, in a sense. Arsenal Football Club, how long they've been playing here, pushing for a Champions League, and they're very close, and it's very possible for them to do it. So they've just got to have the belief in their squad, which I'm sure the manager's instilling them. Didn't talk negatively. Raya talked positively also about the players that were on the pitch. They're going to go and analyse it, decide how they can improve and come up with a game plan, because PSG's fluidity and the flexibility all around the pitch caused big problems tonight, and it confused them a little bit. But going into the next game, they're going to come up with a new game plan, because clearly this one didn't work, and they've got to bring a surprise to PSG, which is what PSG did to them today.
It's their whole season though, isn't it? You know, this is 1 week and 1 day away. They've got Bournemouth at the weekend, the league has gone, all the other cup competitions have gone. This is everything the next 8 days.
It is, but I think Arsenal are used to that over the years. They get to a certain stage of the season and things fall away, and that's not me being really negative.
Cheers,
No, honestly, Wazzy.
No, it's not me being negative. It's me telling the truth. I'm telling the truth with it. That's what has happened to Arsenal over the years, so they're used to that. I think what Arsenal need to do is go in there, I think Daniel said them, with a belief that they can win. Listen, I want Arsenal to win. I want them to go to the final. I hope they win the competition. But they have to go into that game with a belief. You'll be seeing from the PSG away fans tonight, Arsenal need to be ready for a real hostile atmosphere. They have to be patient. They have to slow the game down at the right times, take the ball at the right times, and then when they get the chances, be clinical. That's the only way they'll win over them.
And be compact. Every time we've seen PSG against a team that was compact, they had difficulty because their players need a bit of space to do their stuff. So yeah, I'm very excited to see how the reaction will come next week.
Let's get some reaction from PSG then. Luis Enrique is with Gabriel.
Luis, well done. You've had some great performances against English clubs in this competition, but to win here today, what's your verdict?
Well, I think emotions are at that level in those kind of matches that it's difficult to analyze a match like that. Very difficult to play, great atmosphere, but I think we show the kind of team we are. We try to play in our way. We scored the first goal in the first 2 or 3 minutes, playing the way we try to play. I'm happy. We suffer a lot sometimes of the match. We could score even the second goal, but I think there is still a second match it's going to be very tough.
Do you feel you should have scored more and won by more, or are you grateful to your goalkeeper again?
Well, that's the work of goalkeepers, no? Save the team, and they work every single day for that. And we need in that semi-final, you need all the players at the high level perform, and I think all of them for both teams, all the goalkeepers were great.
Did experience tell today, because you've been in a Champions League semi-final as a manager? Most of your players have been in a Champions League semi-final, but Arsenal haven't been in this situation before.
Well, I think it's not important in that moment when you feel that energy that both teams create into the pitch. I think we need to prepare the second match. It's going to be difficult. The result, it means a little bit of advantage for us. But I think we need to go through that match with same mentality, and we are going to suffer. We know that, and I hope we can. Our supporters in our stadium and with our atmosphere, I think we can go through the final. That's our message. But there is still one match.
Thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, there is just one more match, but it's also just one goal in it. I wonder what that will do to the way Luis Enrique sets his team up next week, Daniel.
Well, he posed a surprise today because, we thought maybe they'd be a bit more free-flowing, which they were in the previous matches, and they adopted more of a reserved approach where they were allowing Arsenal to, advance, and they were allowing them to be pressed, and then they were playing through it, and it was a different style of PSG that we saw tonight. So will they be the same PSG tonight, or will they go back to their previous selves? We don't know. That they're such a explorative team who can adapt their styles with the technical players they have in midfield and in attack. Dembele at times tonight was almost a box in midfield. He wasn't a number 9. So they have so many different options within their team. It's on the other side though. Arsenal have to figure out how they're going to deal with these players and not allow one-on-one actions like they did with Kvaratskhelia on the left and Doué on the right were causing big problems. They've got to try and stop those problems happening earlier on up the pitch, because once you allow them to get in those wide areas 1v1, it's going to be a tough time for your fullbacks.
Well, a lot changed with after 4 minutes, right? If you score so early, then you can definitely adapt your tactics at that point. I think they were trying to push, they were pressing high, and they got the goal early. At that point, I can go and sit back a little bit and wait for you and try to find my second goal. So it's only one goal, obviously. Everything is possible.
Theo, tell us why Arsenal can go to Paris next week and get the job done, and to prove Wayne wrong, that they can go the distance there. I know you want them to win.
They can do, but they have to be better than tonight.
You're saying they have to bring their boots, right? That's what you're saying. No, I feel like Arsenal...
Your boots.
No, I feel like they're going to have to do elements in the game today. PSG, like you were saying at half-time, they were winning free kicks. We all understand Arsenal's main strength is free kicks and set pieces, etc. And you go into a stadium which is going to be very hostile, and you have to frustrate them. So the players are going to have to be smart and slow the game down by winning these silly little fouls, trying to play the game, trying to lure these defenders in. And that's what I was talking about, trying to isolate the wingers, and that's going to be their best bet at trying to win the game. And I feel like it's going to have to be set pieces just to get a result. I really do.
Okay, thank you for the moment.